Hey, welcome back to All Things New with John Michael. And we are continuing through the series of the 8 core emotions. And so last week we talked about moving from a place of hurt into a place of healing and why that's so important and why that matters so much. And so last week on the podcast, we talked about loneliness and how when we can find the gift of loneliness and express that in its healthiest form, what we do is we find ourselves in a place of intimacy, right? And I had a pastor friend who used to say for years, and I've been repeating it for many more since then, but intimacy can just very simply be defined as into me you see, right? Intimacy, into me see. And so, but that the gift of loneliness it brings us to a place of intimacy. However, if we let that loneliness consume us and we live from the impaired function of loneliness, what will eventually occur is it will move us into a place of apathy, right? Because hurt comes from pain, right? From these wounds. And very often, almost always, those wounds come from people. And so in an effort to never be hurt again, we put up defense mechanisms. We go into survival mode. And so naturally, the only way to make sure that no one can ever hurt me again is you just go into a place of loneliness. And as a matter of fact, not only will you never experience things like intimacy and love, but you actually move into a place of apathy. The opposite of love isn't hate. It is apathy, where you just stop caring. And that's such a dangerous place. And so I hope that we would find the gift of loneliness. Otherwise, we are doomed to experience the result. We're alone. And it is not good that man should be alone, right? That's what God said in the Garden of Eden. And so we were not made, right? I said this in the podcast. The logic is very sound. In an effort to avoid being hurt and being wounded by people, it makes all the sense in the world to be alone. The problem with that is that we were not made to be alone. We were made to be in relationship with God, with others, and with ourselves. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. We were made to be in relationship. And so I hope that we would find the gift of loneliness and move into a place of intimacy and love. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you tomorrow on the podcast, All Things New. Thanks again.